Welcome to RCCA's Community Connections. I'm Tom Laux, and today in the studio we have two individuals from Nekoosa School District here, and we're going to talk about the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy. But before we do that, I'm going to have them introduce themselves, so I'm going to have Clint take it away.
I'm Clint Rogers, and I am the charter school coordinator for the district. I'm also the dean of students for AMS Middle School and Nekoosa Academy, which is our alternative high school in the district.
And we have Richard Brehn here as well.
I'm Richard Brehn. I'm the vice chairman of the governance council for the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy, and I've been involved since pretty much the beginning of the development. Terry Whitmore, the district superintendent, invited me to participate because we'd worked together in the past.
Well, great. I'm glad you two came along here, and we can talk about this great program. Again, it's the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy, and it's a new school program for grades 4 through 7. Let's talk a little bit about how this got initiated, when it began. I know you guys are just right now in the beginning of starting it out. It doesn't open until fall of 2014, but if people are watching, what is the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy? And I'll ask you, Clint.
Well, the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy is a project-based learning environment that focuses on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. The whole movement got going last year when a group of teachers wanted to push this movement forward. Those people included Jeannie Peterson, Stacy Russell, and Chuck Baldeschweiler. And those are our teachers that are going through a whole bunch of training right now on different strategies to teach this project-based learning, and it really involved in some STEM professional development as well.
So you say project-based learning. What does that really entail?
That entails really setting up the students with a task or a driving question that they have related to some of the topics that we're going to approach. And those topics, like our focus is science, technology, engineering, and math. And they have, in those topics, you know, there's a certain process that the teachers are going to train the students on. You know, a driving question with some research strategies and really engaging in that project. We're going to have a lot of community input and connections going along with that project. So if a student is researching something along the lines of chemistry, maybe they can contact a local business such as ERCO Worldwide to ask some questions from some of their engineers and get some real life feedback from those projects.
Great. Well, Richard, I met you, and you're a scientist here. That's how I originally met you. It really fits in. You have science, technology, engineering, and math, and now you're on the Governance Council.
Right.
What is the Governance Council? Let's talk a little bit about that.
The Governance Council is the organization that would be sort of equivalent to the school board for the charter school. The Governance Council is the organization that provides the oversight, manages any fundraising that's necessary for major projects, and is constantly engaged in making sure that the school is performing and doing everything that it needs to do. So if you think of it as the school board for the charter school, we as a governance council have a contract with the school board of the District of Nekoosa. And so we're not the last word, the school board of the school district is, but as a school within a school, that's our role.
Right. So this is part of the Nekoosa School District. It's just a new idea coming about. Earlier we were talking about citizen engagement, getting the residents of Nekoosa involved. Do you have anything upcoming planned for that, to have people want to share their ideas for it, or just kind of give some input?
They can come to any of our governance council meetings, which we advertise in the Tribune, and it's also on our website, nekoosasd.net, and you'll see the notices there on when we're meeting. We meet in room 400 in Alexander Middle School, and so the public is definitely welcome to attend any of those meetings and give input on any of our agenda items. Also, they can contact me directly to talk at Alexander Middle School, and they can call 715-886-8040 and just, ask for Clint Rogers, and I can give them a brief summary or answer any of their questions or direct them to the people that can. Our teachers are the real experts in this type of education, and really they're the ones that are generating the curriculum and how that's going to work, and really mapping out the different projects and as much as they can. And this is our planning year of that charter school, and so throughout this year our main goals are to get professional development for the teachers, and they're attending a lot of different trainings, like I said, and to really get a plan of how we need to sustain our school. And the governance council is really a key player in that, because they're, like Richard said, responsible for that raising funds and building those community connections so that we have resources to tap into as we walk through those projects and have the students, embedded in that process.
The other thing that's really important, Tom, in this planning year is all the visits that we're making, both from the educator side and the governance council side, making visits to other charter schools to get ideas about what works and what doesn't, to be able to strategize effectively using other people's experience. Like last week we visited Valley New School that's been in existence for 11 years as a project-based school, and they had some really good ideas to share with us. And that's what we're trying to do now in this planning stage, is to gather the best of the best of ideas together to make our plan for the beginning year, and with the understanding that whatever we do the first year probably will not be the same in the second year, because we'll learn as we go along.
Here in central Wisconsin, there are charter schools.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between this STEM Academy and they say something over at Vesper with their charter school, or Think Academy and Rudolph? What's the difference in this one? I know the grades are 4 through 7, but
Yep.
some of those are younger.
And we're focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. Think Academy has a brain-based focus, and Vesper has a general project-based focus, and we've tapped into and talked to both of those schools actually, and gathered some ideas from them on how we can kind of tweak it for our purposes and use and fit our community as well. We really want to focus on community engagement and involvement, and I think that is a key part to our school. Also, giving those kids some choices in the projects that they are taking part in, and so to really hook them and get that engagement piece in these kids and really have them want to demonstrate and articulate their learning. And there's like that engagement process I was talking about. That is the key piece, I think, that we really want to instill. We want to have those kids, and the teachers are going to lead them into that, and that engagement process, and be so invested in their learning that they're just want to keep going and they can't get enough.
When did this idea come about? Has it been 2-3 years in the making?
I would say, and 2 years in the
Yeah, I
making.
think.
And this is my first year in the Nekoosa district, so
Okay.
I kind of came on board a little later in the process. The planning grant had already been written and approved, and I came on board to help with it. I've had some experiences with Think Academy in Rapids and Vesper Community Academy as well, and so I kind of came on a little later in the game, but it's aligned with the things I really believe in. Having that choice for the students and wrapping the community up in these projects, and really it takes a community to educate the students, and we need to just use our resources wisely, the resources that we have, and there's a vast variety of resources,
Right.
and we've had a lot of those business resources come along with us on some of the visits. Representatives from NewPage and Domtar and ERCO and the Encourage Community Foundation and United Way, they've all had representatives with us on those visits. And some those companies, including ERCO, provided an employee to sit on our board and really provide insight from a business perspective. And Solaris is also on there. We have a representative from Solaris on our board, and their grasp of the business world and how that intermingles with the education world, and really trying to create a bridge there and create something new and exciting, I think is why we want to reach out to those people, because their expertise in certain areas is just priceless to tap
We're
into.
trying to move beyond the school as an entity unto itself, move beyond the kind of silo concept of the school, and bring the community in. That's why I'm so happy to be on the council, because I've been involved in educational activities as a community member for years and years. As you know, I do butterflies and invention and many other things, and there are many other people in the community that have expertise that they'd love to share, and be able to, with the charter concept that we have these communications throughout the community that enrich the opportunities for the students, and that's really what we want. The other thing I would point out that's different about the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy versus the other charter schools that you may know of here in the area, like Think Academy and Vesper and Meade, those are all whole school conversions. We're not talking about a whole school conversion here. We're talking about a particular subsegment and making a school within a school, so that we get some of the advantages of support of the school around the charter, and we're providing a very specialized type of opportunity for part of the school population,
And
rather
that's-
than the whole thing.
That specialized opportunity, I think, is well put, Richard, because it's a different option for those kids, and it's going to be housed in the Alexander Middle School. It's going to be in that same building, and I think that specialized opportunity really defines what we're trying to offer with CWSA.
Well, it definitely looks like by getting the local businesses from around central Wisconsin is a way to engage them and retain young adults and families in the area by possibly getting employment down the road. Helps them, helps our community. It seems like it's a win. It looks like a win-win situation
It
here.
really is, Tom, and what has really stimulated all of this from the very beginning has been the Encourage Foundation and their Business and Education Committee, and recognizing how important it is for businesses and educators to be communicating. There's a huge amount of work that's being done, and I'm sure the Encourage Foundation would be better addressed to speak about that. But there's a lot of work that's happened, and Terry and myself have been very involved in that, and that's what's helped us to move forward with this project.
And the buy-in from the businesses, is one part, in which businesses have shown a lot of support. I said, accompanying us on visits, writing letters of reference for our grants, and it really takes, and the administration as well, the support of the administration, but it really takes the driving from the teachers, to take this and go with it. And they're, because without the support of the teachers and really the efforts of those teachers, you couldn't offer an opportunity like this, because it's a big demand on the teachers too, to try to learn all this new methods of teaching and really to fill their toolbox with things that they're going to need to provide an outstanding education for these
Now,
students.
this is for 4th through 7th grade. Will the original program still exist? Is this on top of the program? So if the students don't want to be a part of it, can they still be a part of what it is today?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And that's why this school within a school option is a little unique as well. They can go in the comprehensive school, like it is today, or they can take part in Central Wisconsin STEM Academy. We're also looking to expand and give those 7th graders now, who are going to be 8th graders, an option to continue as 8th graders.
So it's,
in
you know,
that
it's
school.
similar like an advanced placement kind of program, what it is used to be maybe years ago. Just come up with new ideas, but are the teachers, are there new teachers involved, or is it going to be some of the same teachers that are here now?
Can I stop you at one point? It's not like an advanced placement program because we're not selective. We're not allowed to be selective
Okay.
of the population. In fact, our population should reflect the socioeconomic status and ability and boy-girl ratio and everything else of the standard school district. If it doesn't, then we may be in a bad place.
So you're opening it to anybody, is really, it's for everybody.
Exactly.
Advanced placement is not. It's for maybe people that want to do something. So there's a big difference.
I get asked that question, is this for gifted students or students that are struggling, and I said yes, because it's for all of those
Yep.
students, because this is just a different way for them to learn, and this might appeal, to a student that's struggling, and maybe they can create some really, that can really fire them up and engage them and inspire them to achieve more, or the gifted student as well, or your average student too could really just find that engagement and that inspiration to pursue the
really-
education instead of getting it, they're actively pursuing it.
Yes, it really, I see a lot of students. I'm teaching now as an adjunct at Midstate, and I see students that don't necessarily have the strong verbal skills that tend to select the high-performing students. They have the strong verbal skills, but they have good physical hands-on capability. And there's no reason why they shouldn't succeed, but we tend not to teach in a way that supports the physical, hands-on, visual learner as well as the verbal learner.
Instead of waiting until graduation and then they have that decision, college or maybe more of a technical background, you're introducing it now, right away. So yeah,
Yes.
everybody does learn differently, and some people take tests better and some don't, but it's just the way your brain is really wired.
Right.
That's how that works. I want to touch base on a few of these pieces here that are on the back of this brochure that you had given me, Clint. We talk about, number one, filling the gap, the skills gap. And then we also talked about, the real world. You're bringing in businesses and people that are involved, like Nekoosa papers and that area. And then, bringing the hands-on technical skill, and then also math. All these areas here, how did you really come up to find these little pieces here?
Well, that gap in skills is in reference to a survey that the Encourage Community Foundation put out. And Richard, can you talk a little bit to that?
Vital signs. Actually, there were 4 points that Vital Signs hit on. One was the skills gap. We know that. We know we need change. Then that people want change. That we need a strong economy, and all of these things that the Vital Signs pointed out are things that we want to address. To have the strong community involvement is really a different image than what we've had in the past. The advantage of the charter school is that we're liberated from some requirements of the traditional public school, and the charter is actually to innovate. So we're given the opportunity to do some new things, to try some things, and I'm sure part of the things that we try will not do as well as we expect. That's part of what innovation is. You have to be free to fail, or you're not going to be free to win.
Yeah, you do have to try. It's like anything we do nowadays. Got to try and weed it out and see what works, and give it time to really make it happen.
Through like that survey that I was referencing from the Encourage Foundation, there's a list of soft skills that was really emphasized by area businesses, such as communication, critical thinking, problem solving, and those types of things are really things that are going to have a very strong representation in the curriculum and the projects that are being designed, because that's what's employers are saying. Well, we want these things to be strong in our in our candidates, and that's what we're going to try to develop.
It's a natural part of the project-based learning approach because the student is taking responsibility for the project from the very beginning. Early on, in the 4th grade, they'll be given projects. They'll have a little bit of latitude, but as they progress through till about 6th and 7th grade, they're going to start to be choosing their projects on their own. They'll go through a proposal process. I'd like to do this because, and planning, and go through all the steps until, in the end, they have to present what they've done and explain why this is they've come up with a good result.
Can people register now? Can parents get involved and sign their kid up now?
Absolutely. You can go to nekoosasd.net, and then there's a little box on there that'll say Introducing Central Wisconsin STEM Academy, and click here for more information, and you click there, and that'll bring you to the Central Wisconsin STEM Academy page. And in the bottom right corner, there's a click here to apply, and you go through some basic questions, name, address, all that stuff. And then on the bottom of that form, there's some questions, but those questions ask about some types of how your student learns and things like that. These are for the parents to fill out. And please know that those questions don't have any bearing on whether that student gets accepted or not. That just is for our planning purposes. And then on the bottom, there's a little submit button, and hit submit, and then
Away you go.
This is an application, though, because we have, 62 already?
64 as of today.
Okay, so 2 more since last I heard. And that's about capacity, the way our original planning was with 3 teachers. And we've been open to open enrollment since the end of February, right? End of January. And that means that other districts, students can apply. But to try and, if we said registration, it would mean once you register, you're in. And we're going to have to look at a lottery probably for additional students. But it is open to
And that
other
lottery is
districts.
just completely random. It's
Okay, so we'll
just
have
like
to go to the
pulling-
lottery after. 'Cause,
Yep.
you can only have, we're planning 63, 64, and we're filming this here our last day of February,
And the enrollment period's open till the end of April.
So, and then after that, it would be closed because you need to be planning for
Exactly.
instruction, teacher, and that. Are a lot of the teachers going to be working through the summer probably to get this ready? It looks like it's not going to be an easy process.
There's a lot of time that these teachers are putting in addition to their normal teaching duties, and planning to be gone for some of these trainings and stuff that we've talked about is a big demand on them. And throughout the summer, there's different trainings and stuff that we already have planned and dates for that they're going to attend. And so
You guys work a lot, probably also have to work with the Nekoosa School District, Terry Whitmore and those as well. The governance board has to be working with this because it's all tied into one building.
we've had a lot of good communication with the Nekoosa School Board and a lot of support from the Nekoosa School Board and Terry Whitmore, the superintendent there, and they're just really open to this idea and really supportive and getting behind it. And we've had school board members attend our governance council meetings, and we've had a sit down with our whole governance council and the school board, and we talked about the contract and any concerns that they have and kind of where this thing is going. And so we want to keep those lines of communication open, because that is really a key factor in the success of the school, because the school board and the administration is behind it.
And the funding is still coming from part of the budget of Nekoosa School District that budgets for this.
Yep, because the teachers are Nekoosa School District teachers, and their salary is paid from the Nekoosa School District, and we have, like we said, it's going to be housed in the Alexander Middle School, so secretarial and custodial and administrative staff to support that school are all part of the Nekoosa School District as well.
Well, we only have about a minute left. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that I may have missed on this great opportunity here for kids of Nekoosa School District?
Well, in other school districts because it is an open enrollment
Yeah, it's
now.
open enrollment, yep.
Wow. I'm excited about this because it is such a wonderful opportunity for anyone that's interested in STEM areas to develop early with a STEM focus.
And I would encourage anybody who's interested in it, you know, to contact us, and I can put you in touch with, like I said, the teachers who are the real experts there, and they can really give you a detailed explanation of maybe a project example that the kids might work through and kind of more intricate plans.
Yeah, open enrollment, open until how long again?
April 30th.
April 30th, which means any student can, around this area,
Right.
can apply, and then it will go to more of a lottery after we get a full
Yes.
full amount of people involved. So, well, I appreciate you two coming by and sharing that. I think
Thanks,
our
Tom.
viewers are going to really appreciate that, and getting that word out. And good luck with your program, and we'll probably invite you back on here after you guys get that program going, and maybe have a student or two come on and after maybe midwinter or next year at this time and see how things are going.
That would be
We
wonderful.
would love to do that.
Alrighty, great. Well, thank you for joining us here on River City's Community Accesses, Community Connections program, and we'll see you next time.